on Zoom for you. So if you miss it, don't worry. I'll post a replay for those of you who missed it or missed the live or whatever, if you know somebody that you think might benefit from it. So my name is Kimberly. I'm a registered nurse of 20 some odd years and a professional coach that I've been doing now for, I don't know, maybe the last 6 years, certified. I dabble in a lot of things, and the things I dabble in are all things that I hope to make people's lives better, my own and my family's. And I just love to share some things that I learn along the way from other people. So I'm a great imitator. If there's something great, it probably wasn't my original idea. Okay. So today we are talking about how to make your dreams come true, right? How to make your 2017 the best year ever. And, you know, sometimes in my coaching world, as a professional coach and as a nurse coach, I coach people all over the country, all over the U.S. And so I talk to a lot of people who are living a lot of different kind of lives. I'm looking back and forth here. And they're doing a lot of different things. So I'm talking to moms, I'm talking to dads, I am talking to students, primarily adults. I don't work a whole lot with kids right now. And I hear some common themes. And the themes that I hear are themes that, you know, we're really, really crazy busy as people. And that plays a toll on us. For instance, I once talked to a woman who she had a great career, beautiful family, 2 beautiful children. And she outside, it looked like she had it all cooking. Everything looked great. The boat and the car and the nice house and the beautiful kids and the nice family and the handsome husband and all that stuff. Inside, she was dying. And I asked her one time, I said, how do you keep it all together? And she said, you know, I really don't. She said, I come home at the end of the day and I'm so tired. My kids want to go to play. They want me to take them to the park or something. I can't. I'm exhausted. I'm just exhausted. I can't do it anymore. And, you know, that really broke my heart. And at the time, that was some years ago, I was kind of in a similar place. I was doing a lot of things. And here's the challenge for us ladies, is that as women, we have so many passions and we have so much energy and we want to give. And I really believe that's part of our divine nature, is helping make people's lives better. We're nurturers. We're the energy. We're the salt, right? We make our worlds more beautiful, more bright. We do a lot of things, and we have a passion to do a lot of things for a lot of people. Excuse me. The problem is that we seem to have fallen into the mistaken assumption and belief that we can do it all right now. And I hate to break it to you, we can't. Nobody can do everything they want to do at the same time when they want to do it, unless you're a man. No offense to my men out there. Men really can focus on one thing at a time. For us women, that's a little more difficult. We got to do it all right there, right? So I'm going to share some things with you that hopefully will help squelch that fire so that at the end of the day, you don't feel burned out, stressed out. You don't feel like your life is one big to-do list, right? Because that's a drag. So I just want to share some ideas with you. So what I want you to do, just to get started, to kind of see where you are, some of us really know what we want, right? We have our goals, and we've been doing this for a while. We know exactly what we want. For others of us, it's a little trickier. Sometimes we're in a position where we know we want something different. We know we want something better, but we're not sure what that is. And the problem with that is, it's kind of like driving blindfolded, right? Do you know I can actually drive blindfolded? And I do a great job until I hit a tree, right? It's really important to know where you want to go and open your eyes so that you can get there. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab a piece of paper. You should have one out already because we're going to make this a value-packed webinar. What I want you to do is draw a circle. Okay? And this circle is going to represent your life. Now, your life is made up of different parts, right? I want you to divide this, excuse me, into a pie, okay? So our pie over here, whatever kind of pie you have, I think I have mine cut into too many pieces, 3, 6, okay. So here, I want you to put physical. Here, I want you to put financial, okay? Career, you can lump those into one if you like. Oh, one right here. For here, I want you to put emotional, okay? Spiritual, you can kind of see where I'm going here, right? Can you kind of tell where I'm going? So different aspects of your lives, and you can lump them all, like family and friends. You can typically make this one as well. Okay? So you have financial and career, that can really be one. Physical, emotional, spiritual, your family and friends. Okay? And this one, actually, let's just take this off because I can actually lump the other in here. So what I want you to do with this pie chart is I want you to fill in how satisfied you are in each of these areas. Okay? So for instance, some people make bigger spokes. Like maybe they're pretty happy with their physical appearance, but they're not happy with their energy level. You could lump that all into one. Or maybe they need to sleep more, they feel dehydrated, they know they need to drink more. Some people divide that out further. I don't. I lump it all into one. So here you might say, I'm pretty happy with my physical health. Or you might say, you know what? I'm kind of burned out. I'm exhausted at the end of the day. I don't have enough energy to run and play with my kids or my family. Maybe I'm only up to here. Okay? But I want you to go through and just take a minute and do an inventory, the different aspects of your life and where you are. How satisfied you are in those areas. And just take a quick minute to do that. Now, when I sit down with my clients, I have them do that in that first session. And then together, we actually customize a plan based on each of those areas. So we'll pick the number one area. And here's the question you want to ask yourself. Of your little pie chart here, okay, I didn't finish mine here. Of your little pie chart, you're going to say, what one area, if I were to make an improvement on, what one area would have the biggest overall impact on my satisfaction, on the satisfaction I have with my life right now? What one area? Now, when I first started doing this several years ago, I really had 3 areas that I was mainly concerned with for myself, that I really wanted to impact the change in, that I wasn't satisfied with. But you want to be careful. You don't want to pick everything because you can't fix everything all at the same time. That's really difficult. And a lot of times, if we feel like we have so much that we have to change, it feels like we're sitting down to eat a rhinoceros, right? You can't eat a rhinoceros in one sitting. You have to cut them up, maybe make some leftovers, maybe do some freezing, make some jerky or whatever, and you have to nibble at them over time. Well, this is a lot like that. We can't do it necessarily prettily all in one bite. We might have to cut it into some little chunks and work on one thing at a time, and that's okay. Hopefully you have a lifetime. I have another story for you. I once had a client. She was amazing. She was a beautiful lady. I think she was 92. Actually, she had just turned 92. And she had, just that year, she had just stopped doing triathlons. So prior to that, to her 92nd birthday, every year she ran a triathlon. So she biked, she swam, and she ran. She was an amazing lady, and she was a pilot. Talk about glamorous. Oh my gosh, she was amazing. She had this rich, full, colorful life, and I asked her one time, I said, how did you do this all? How did you make all this happen in your life? She said, when I was a young mother, I wanted to stay home and raise my children, so I did. When my husband was sick and he was dying of cancer, I wanted to stay home and take care of him, so I did. When I wanted to learn how to fly, I did. So she took her life in segments. And I'm here to tell you, our life isn't something that we can live all at the same time. It really isn't. It's kind of like multitasking. In my early years, in my 20s, and especially in my busy 30s, and even into my 40s, I tended to think that I could do a lot of things all at the same time. And there's a problem with that. We live such fraction, and you never get a chance to get anything, and you're always right, and it's just it's just confusing and hectic. So quit fooling yourself. You cannot do it all at the same time. It's just not going to work out that way. But you can pick a focus. It's kind of like driving a car, right? You're balanced on all four wheels, but if you have a flat tire, you have to take a break and you have to put a little energy into the tire that's flat before you can get back on the road, right? Pick 1, 2, no more than 3 areas in your life, okay, that you decide that you want to make a change in. Don't inundate yourself with too many, because it's crazy. It won't work out very well for you. Pick 1, 2, or 3. Okay? And then you're going to ask yourself, I'm going to show you one more tool here for today. These tools are awesome, I have to tell you. And they're not my own, but I happily share them, okay? So let's say, for instance, you say, I want to maybe my goal is I'm tired of being in debt. There's a big one. Let's talk about that for a minute, because that's not a pretty topic, and most people don't like talking about it. It has everything to do with how well you sleep at night, with your blood pressure, with how well you perform at work. It has everything to do with your sex life, your marital happiness, right? Your relationships, your confidence, your self-image. That was the other wheel I forgot. Self-image, your self-esteem. When we're failing on that aspect, finances, and we're stressed on how we're going to pay bills, it makes everything difficult. Now, I am in no way an advocate of telling you money is everything, because it's not. Money is a tool. And here's where people get confused, especially when money is tight. Okay, when money is tight, we focus on the money, but it's really not the money. It's what do we want to do with the money? So here's a question to maybe ask yourself if you're not sure what you want out of life, is you ask yourself, if money were no object to you, let's say you had a Harry Potter vault of gold or whatever to look forward to, and you had all that you wanted, what would you be doing with your time? Please don't tell me you'd be sitting on the couch watching TV. Right? My son just walked to the door. I said that mainly for his benefit. But what would you be doing with your time? That's going to show you where your heart and your passion is. Money is a tool, people. Money is a tool that helps us live the lives that we want to live. And for a long time, I struggled because I've been in different businesses, and I can talk to you a lot about home-based businesses. They're fabulous, by the way. And they do give people a lot of breathing room. But even before that point, I want you to take some time and really think about what it is that gets you juiced up. What makes you want to get out of bed in the morning? What would you do if money were no object? Where's your passion? And all of us have a different gift and a different passion. Thank goodness, or the world would be really boring. It'd be like driving on one tire, right? I like lots of tires on the road. Okay. So let's take that money issue, and let's say, you know what? I'm really stressed about debt. Now, you could put anything here. You could put your weight. You could put your cholesterol. You could put your husband even. maybe relationship, anything. But let's talk about debt for a minute, because that's a not pretty one. We don't like to talk about. We don't like to show people. Let's just talk about it for a minute. Now, what I want you to do is put that elephant right out there. And I want you to just allow yourself to feel whatever feelings are associated with that. Okay, so maybe here, I have some feelings of fear. I'm stressed. Now, usually people start off with this one, stress. I don't sleep well. When you dig down, the real emotion behind that is fear. Go ahead and circle that, okay? And then you're going to say, well, what do I fear? What about fear can I break down further? Well, I fear not being able to pay my bills. I fear, I don't know, this isn't one of my issues, so help me out here. Speak out if there's an issue around that you think you might want to tear down. Losing your job. No vacations. Right? Or how am I going to pay for childcare? I have to work, but my work doesn't pay enough to pay for my childcare, or whatever it is. Anyway, write those down. And then here's the next step, and this is where the power is, because here's what I want you to focus on. Some things you have control over, and some things you don't. When we focus on the factors that we have control over, okay, that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. You're going to have the most power there. When we focus on the things that we don't have any control over, all you're going to do is put a hole in your stomach, right? It does nobody any good. That's what makes you not sleep at night, right? That's what drives your blood pressure up, because you don't have any control over it. So here's where the work comes. The work comes in recognizing what you have control over. What can I do about this? And if I don't have any control over it, I have to let it go. And that sounds really easy to say. I don't say it flippantly, because it takes a lot of work to let the things go you don't have control over. You know, as a nurse, I go into people's homes. Sometimes I see people who they can't move their bodies anymore. They can't wipe themselves. They can't get up when they're hungry and get themselves something to eat. Maybe they can't even scratch their nose because their nose itches. You want to talk about something you don't have control over, and they don't have a choice but to let it go. The people that live well learn how to do that, and it is hard. But it's like anything else. You have to practice it. If I go into the gym, I'm in my workout clothes because I'm getting ready. If I go into the gym and I flex my muscle every day and I'm lifting weights, I'm going to grow this muscle. It's going to get stronger. Anything you do more of is going to become easier and better for you, right? Don't let worry be something that you develop, because it will eat you alive. Stress has been linked to all kinds of things. Blood pressure issues, ulcers, sleep disorders, sexual difficulties, Alzheimer's, autoimmune disorders, cancers, nasty things, weight gain, everything. Don't let stress be a part of your MO. Don't do it. So map it out. And sometimes putting things on paper, after you do this, you can tear it up, shred it. It's meant to be private. Okay, but do it, because there's something that frees up when you put it on paper, you see it, and now you can deal with it. So you take this down, and you might say bills. Okay, maybe I can't pay my bills. If I can't, what can I do about it? Well, I can learn how to budget. I have some great tools for that if that's a weakness for you. I can learn how to budget. Or maybe what I can do is I can call my creditors, and I can work out a payment plan. Maybe I can decrease my spending. Novel idea. If you're worried about your bills, you have no business going to Starbucks or getting your fancy nails, right? Or going to the tanning salon. Or even watching cable TV. There are some things that we need to live, and there are some things that we don't need to live. cut the fat. Use that fat to give yourself some freedom, right? So maybe I can decrease my spending. Maybe I need to increase my income. I love this one because I know a lot of people who feel trapped in their JOBs and they don't think they have any control over what they bring in. And that irritates me to no end. I have always, well, since 21, so several decades ago, since I was 21, I operated from a place that I knew that if I needed money, I had a way to bring in, there's always a way to bring in extra income. Always. If you want it, there's a way to do it. And I love to share ideas with people. Home-based businesses are so easy. They've done most of the work for you. There's a learning curve there. The one thing I love about having a personal business, like a direct sales, multi-level marketing, the business that I'm associated with is neither, by the way. So if you want to know about that, let me know. We don't do parties or have inventory. I don't sell anything. I absolutely love it. And it's given me a check every month since I've been involved with them 9 years ago. But there's always a way. I know a woman who she loves making her own soap. She loves essential oils. She makes her own soap. She makes her own lotions. She even has a beard balm that I'm really excited to get for my husband. She does this all from her home. She has a housekeeping business. These are things that she's found, niches that she's good at, and she's learned how to market them and share them with other people. We don't all have the same skills, right? But you have skills and talents that other people don't have that they would love to share with you. They would love to have some of whatever it is that you're good at. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a home-based business, but I love them because they're easy to get started. And most home-based businesses are going to have some kind of personal development attached to it. You're not going to succeed as well or as quickly in anything unless you work on yourself. Making yourself a better person every day. It's an ongoing activity. I'm a full-time job. But really knowing that you are your own best friend. And if you're not, I would challenge you to think about, what do you need to change? Who do you need to become to be your own best friend? That's really important. And that's kind of tailored into a home-based business. There are lots of them out there. Ask me. I can share several with you. I will tell you, it's not healthy to dabble in 6 different home-based businesses at the same time. You end up being, who are you? And what are you trying to sell me kind of person? Don't do that. It's tacky. Pick one. Pick one and work on that one at a time. Okay, and give it some time. Some of these things that you're going to do, when you write out a list of things that you can do, those are where you want to put your focus. The stuff you don't have control over, you have to learn how to let that go. Give it to God, go to yoga, do some meditation. Talk to yourself. If you were your own best mama, okay, when I ask people that, I often think of a mom holding her baby in her lap, soothing her baby, and what would she whisper in her baby's ear? She would say, it's all going to be okay. Now, I will tell you, as a mama of 3, and I've had a lot of sleepless nights up with sick kids, sometimes we don't know if it's going to be okay, right? But we tell our babies, it's all going to be okay. And then we have faith that somehow it's all going to be okay. And doggone it, somehow for you in your life, it's all going to be okay. But it's not going to happen in a test tube. We have to focus on the factors that we have control over and harness that power. And one thing I know is that God will take care of the rest, right? So really, really important. But this is a fantastic tool to diagram it out, map it out. Okay, this is a mapping tool. And you can use this to map out and really see, okay, what can I do about this? What do I really have control over? And then it's on paper, okay? Maybe I'm chicken to call my creditors. What do I tell them? Start with 1. Tell them your situation. I want to pay this still. I can't pay the minimum. I can pay half of the minimum. Can we pause the interest? You got to learn how to negotiate. I had a business mentor who last year challenged us to ask for a discount on everything we purchased. And I did that. I got a discount on tires. I got free meals at restaurants. No joke. I got $200 off for my daughter's dog that she worked so hard to save money on. $200. Shut up, right? Negotiation is a skill. Are you going to mess up? Yes. But you're not going to get better at it if you don't try, right? We just have to start where we are, and every day it's going to get better and better. If you don't know how to do some of the things that you've thought of, ask a friend. Find somebody who's good at whatever it is that you want to improve on. Ask a friend, right? Ask them for help, and they're usually happy to help. Hire a coach. As a professional coach, that's what I do. I help people find their own answers. You already have your own answer. You already know what you need to do. The problem is sometimes when we talk, there's 1,000 gazillion voices going off in our head, and sometimes we're just not quite sure who's telling us to do what or if it's right. But you do know what you need to do, and that's where coaching is really valuable. Coaching just helps you sift through those voices in your head and find your answers, and they hold you accountable. You know, if you have a friend who tells you everything you want to hear all the time, that's not necessarily a true friend, right? A true friend is going to love you even when you screw up and tell you when you screwed up, right? And help you be better. You know, we know when we're screwing up. We know when we're in the wrong. And to pretend like we're not doesn't serve us. But that doesn't mean we can't be loved and that it's not okay to screw up because we're human, right? Thank goodness. So we've shared a couple of my favorite tools today just to get you started. If you want more help, I would love to work with you one-on-one. And as a perk, when you mention that you watch this webinar, I have for you a free introductory personal coaching session where we can go through these tools and really help you map out a plan, which you can continue on your own thereafter. No strings attached. It's a gift. It's my New Year's gift just because I love you. Okay? This is one of my favorite things to do. We talked about our wheel, our self-improvement wheel. You're going to break it down. Self-esteem, friends, family, spiritual, emotional, physical, financial, career. You're going to break it down. You're going to inventory yourself and how satisfied you are with yourself in all these different areas. You're going to pick no more than 3, but preferably just 1 or 2 areas that you want to improve on. Okay? And then you're going to employ your mapping tool to map out what about that situation that you want to improve. What about that's bugging you? Right? I'm going to share one more tool with you before we go, if this is hard for you. You're going to employ the mapping tool to help you find out how you're going to make this better. These two feed into each other, right? This is the what. This is the how. How am I going to make this better? Okay? That's called a mapping tool. Another great tool, if you're not sure that you want to start there, is just to make a laundry list, an annoyance list. Jack Canfield talks about this all the time, and I absolutely love it because it's helped me get so much off of my annoyance list. And it's just writing the list. Just a laundry list of all the things that annoy the heck out of you. It could be, for instance, last year, one of the things on my annoyance list was that my pantry door had not been replaced. When my husband put the floor in, he never put the pantry door back on because it was difficult. He wasn't quite sure how to do it. I wasn't either, but doggone it, it annoyed me. So I figured out how to do it. I got the pantry back on. And it's made a big difference in just my factor, right? Maybe it's that your backyard is messy and you don't feel comfortable when people come to visit. You don't feel like you want to entertain your backyard, but you can't. We'll put that on your laundry list. Maybe it's a front door that squeaks. Maybe it's the crack in your windshield. Whatever it is, I want you to make a list of the things that bug you. Just make a list. Put it on paper. Here's the cool thing. These exercises, these things that we do on paper, when you put it on paper, your brain can let go of it. Your brain can let go of it because it's on paper. That frees your mind up. And you may find that you have bursts of creativity and insight that you had never had before. And that's going to serve you well, especially when you go to work on this list. You're going to come up with ideas and things that you hadn't before. very freeing. I really hope this helps. And I hope that you really take to heart that picking 1 to 3 things. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot to make your year better than it was before. And I love, my husband has an expression that I absolutely love. I share it all the time with my clients. And that is, if I wanted to walk from here to New York City, which is a long way because I live in Idaho, I could do it. It's not going to happen all in one day, right? But if I put my feet in the right direction, it doesn't matter how fast I go, whether it's slow or fast, I'm eventually going to get there. And here's the trick, okay? The trick is figuring out where you want to go, point yourself in the right direction, do the things that will naturally bring it to pass, and it will be easy for you. McDonald's is extremely successful, not because they have a fantastic facility and highly trained, educated staff and superior products. They're successful because they have a system that you can brainlessly employ to make you successful. And it's the habits that you develop that are going to naturally and effortlessly take you in the direction where you want to go. Habits. And it starts here, right? If I had a goal, for instance, of improving my finances, and I said, you know, I needed a budget, that's something I have to do every single day. It's not something I'm going to do once and then say, my finances are fixed and life is wonderful. I have to do it every single day and develop a habit of being conscientious with my money and making sure that I don't spend more than I bring, right? I have to budget every day. I have to share that with my spouse so that he knows where we are financially so he can make decisions when he's out and about, right? Heaven forbid you got a wife who likes to spend and you don't know what she spent. And you wonder why he's angry, right? If you do that every day, it becomes a habit and then you don't have to think about it anymore, right? Starts little and it yields big results. And often that's what it is, kind of like the butterfly effect. I'm sure you've seen that, right? Butterflies, little bitty, tiny, inconsequential things, right? Bring to pass hurricanes and monsoons and crazy things. Power in the little bitty details. I wish all good things for you in the coming year, 2017. Again, my name is Kimberly. You can reach out to me here on Facebook. You can reach me by phone, 208. Oh gosh, I don't remember my new number. If you listen, call my old number, it'll give it to you, 208-704-3325. You can certainly reach out to me. Mention the webinar, and I will have for you a free introductory personal coaching session, help you map that out, or help you carry this, what you started today, a little bit further for yourself. If finances are an issue for you, I absolutely love sharing with people how we've given our family some breathing room. What I'm most excited about financially in 2017, and certainly love to share that with you. You can also find me at Kimberly Langford, KimberlyLeeLangford, KimberlyLangford.com. You can reach out to me there as well. Thanks so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye now.